All right. We got Clark dialed in. Thank you, Clark, and thank you also for logging in through YouTube. Build me up on that YouTube, fellas. Ladies, I appreciate it. All right. Here we go. Another couple seconds and we'll go. All right. Harold, what's going on with you and Clark? I am duo interstitial. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Angie's Angles. It is November the 14th in the year of my Lord, 2024. We're coming to you live, as always, when we can. Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. For those that are local or want to do the trip, January 9th, Angie's Angles, wings, bourbon, and cigars. Come down and join us if you will. All right, we're going to get right into tonight's topic. Juan Soto signing. Is he worth the money? Now, I'm going to do a little comparison tonight for my friends here, my family on the Angie's Angles podcast. And some of you might mock me. I know Kevin Elliott down in Florida. Hey, John. Oh, John. Everybody, that's John Belvedere, affectionately known as Johnny Barbecue. He's a master at the grill. And unfortunately, he's a fan of sous vide. To sous vide or not to sous vide? That is the question. Johnny, we miss you too, buddy. Get better. Johnny had a little medical episode. He's fine from what he tells us. And John, we're praying for you, buddy. So I did a little comparison. And I don't know, you probably all figure out who I'm comparing the two, right? The obvious comparee is one Juan Soto. And the numbers that are being bandied about is $600 million. 14-year deal, $50 million average annual value, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now, if I woke up tomorrow and found out that Juan Soto was a member of the New York Mets, I'm not going to cry. He is a potent bat in the lineup for sure. On the field, not so sure. And hear me out for a minute, if you will. I think Juan Soto is the prototypical DH hitter. There's zero reason to have Juan Soto in the outfield. It opens up the opportunity to a major injury, pulling up on a hamstring, diving for a ball, whatever. He is the prototypical DH hitter a la Edgar Martinez, okay? The guy could rake. The guy could hit the ball. The guy rolls out of bed and he hits 480. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Juan Soto's bat is one of the premier bats of present time. Albeit he's got a lifetime batting average of 280. But in today's day and age, 280 is like 310, 320. Because who's hitting that anymore? I mean, you got these guys batting, 240, 250, 260, banging the 40 home runs, etc. Now, you're bringing in Juan Soto, who's going to bang you to 40 home runs, but he'll bat you 280, 285. He'll walk 133 times a season. Danica, hey, Danica, what's going on? Thanks for logging on, Danica. Danica, in the future, if you don't mind, get me on YouTube. I'd appreciate that. So here we go, guys. Here's my scenario, right? Here's my comparison. And I'm only going with the guys that I have currently, right? So for 162 game average over a course of 7 years, Juan Soto has the following stats. And we're going to compare him against Pete Alonso with only 6 years in the league. 7 years Soto, 6 years Pete. Runs scored. Soto's got 113. Pete's got 94. Now let's understand, Soto's coming off an offensive juggernaut with Judge in the lineup. So the runs scored, he's always been on a prodigious offensive team. Soto has. So to have an well, what are we looking at? 9 RBI difference. Scratch that. 19 RBI difference over 162 games. Hits. Here's where you're going to be pretty amazed, in my humble opinion. Over 7 years, Soto's averaging 162 hits. Pete's averaging 150 hits. That's not too shabby. Doubles, Soto's got 31. Pete's got 27. That's a wash. Triple, Soto's got 3. Pete's got 1, averaging 1, right? Now, here's where it takes a little turn. On a 162 game season, for 7 years, Soto's averaged 35 home runs. Pete's averaged 43. RBIs, Soto's got 102. Pete's got 112 in 6 years. Stolen bases, Soto's got 10. Pete's got 3. Now, here's the big difference. Soto averages 133 walks over 162 game average. Pete's got 69 walks. Again, Soto was in the more prodigious lineup than Pete, right? They're not the pitching around Soto, they're not pitching around Pete. And the batting average is different. Soto's averaging at 285 and Pete's got a 249. Now, here's the other kicker. Pete has averaged 30-plus home runs or more 5 years out of the 6, right? Well, that's his 162-game average. Sorry, I digress. Over 162 games, Pete, I'm contradicting myself. We're done with the 162-game average. In 6 years, Pete's hit 30 home runs or more 5 out of the 6. While Soto's only got 30-plus home runs 3 out of the 7. Okay, so Pete's at a 90% clip, and Soto's at what? Was that a 40% clip? And they're both tied with 3 years of 100 RBIs plus or more. And I go back to the teams that they're on, right? Last year, for example, we started 0-5 and we didn't start playing until June. So Pete didn't have many RBI opportunities, and he had his lowest RBI output this year. But even with that, he still has 3 out of 6 years of 100 RBIs plus or 50%. And then Soto's got 3 years, 100 RBIs at a 40%, right? So the question is, you could have Pete for about $200 million, okay? Or you could have Soto for $600 million. Is that comparison really worth $400 million more? This guy says absolutely zero chance. While Soto's 26, I understand this, and Pete's going to be 31. I get it. But Pete's power numbers are just prodigious. And Pete does and has gotten better at first base. He's a pretty good, at least scoop-wise, defensive first baseman. Now, Pete's going to have his flubs for sure, without a doubt. But we also saw Soto spit the bit in the outfield as well. So I give the slight edge on the field to Alonso as well. So if we take Pete at $200 million and take our other $400 million that you might give Soto, we could get both Snell and Burns, your choice of Bregman or Adames, and shore up your bullpen. To me, that's money well spent. Taking Soto's $400 million and dump it in the other positions that you need to upgrade at. Now, okay, and you're going to bring in Bregman or Adames to play third. Where does Vientos go? Well, now Vientos and Alonso become your quote-unquote alternating first baseman. Pete playing about 2/3 of the season at first, Vientos a third, and then they alternate as your DH. And what that allows you is to maybe carry a Winker and Iglesias. Now, I'm not crazy about carrying Iglesias because I really think he's done. He's 36, 37 years old. He's coming off a magical, oh my God, season. I give you all of the above. But are we really going to take $600 million and put it on a guy that's got, at least prodigious power-wise, the same numbers as Alonso, maybe a little tad less? Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Soto and aiming for the right field porch at Citi Field. It's very achievable for him. It's very hitter friendly for a lefty. But Pete, as we've seen, especially in Milwaukee, he's got amazing oppo power as well. And I really do think that this year really got under Pete's skin in terms of doing the right thing for the team, trying too hard, and the pressure got to him. I do think if Pete comes back with the contract that he wants, I think the mental game for Pete's going to disappear. Mark Brooks, my brother from another mother. What is going on? So, Harold, you don't want Soto at all, huh? Soto would look pretty good at the friendly confines of Wrigley, I have to tell you. But your hands, your hamstringing or hamstrunging your team by putting all those shekels in one basket. Kind of handcuffs you what you're able to do. Now, I'm also of the opinion that the Major League Baseball owners are a bunch of fraudsters, where they're making gazillions amount of money. Gazillion. They're making a gazillion amount of money. They're not paupers. Because if they were, there wouldn't be one owner thinking about giving Soto $600 million. I mean, what's next? I really thought Ohtani was the ceiling. Apparently not. And what are we going to do? What are we going to get? A $1 billion player? I mean, it's just absolutely out of control. Mark, you brought that up just a moment ago. Yo, Clark, the deferment process, I despise it. I know it's legal. I know it's pretty creative, blah, 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 but I don't like it. Because you're going to get burnt in that 10th year when now you got to pay Ohtani all that money. But to the Dodgers' credit, they've already got that money in the bank from all the promotions and the revenue and the jersey sales and this and that and the television rights from Japan that they're watching at 3 a.m. watching Ohtani. I get all of the above. I don't think you're going to get a lot of guys watching Soto overseas or South America. Okay. Clark, you're not wrong. And let's put you on the big screen, big man. Clark says people aren't going to be able to go to the games. It's already too expensive. But sadly enough, Clark, to counter your point, and not to say you're wrong, I'm with you 100%. Guys and girls right here on the podcast are being priced out to go to a live ball game. Okay. I laid out a hefty couple of shekels to take Danny to the ultimate ball game that he's ever been to. We were right on the field level, first row, right next to the ball boy in left field. Danny got a game-used ball. We got on television. We beat the Phillies, 1-2-1 that night to stay alive in the hunt. That was the last game at Citi Field for the year. All of the above was just magical. Danny walked out of there just renewed faith in baseball, okay? It was, Brandon, what's going on? I am quadruple interstitial, my brother. Brandon, that video of you working the sausage machine had me peeing in my pants. That was classic Brandon right there. Love at home, Brandon. Love at home. So, we've been talking, Brandon, about the comparison between Soto and Alonso and the money difference you're going to have to pay to get Soto compared to Alonso. Like if Kevin Elliott had a moment to log in here, he'd give us his 2 cents and maybe even 2.5 cents that Alonso's a bum, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But the stats don't lie, Kevin. The stats are very compatible over 162 game average season. And is Soto $400 million more worth than Alonso? Alonso has shown you durability. Alonso has played 162 games. All right. I mean, it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. The similarities. And on the power side, Pete wins. It's just a fact. Okay. So I don't know. Let's put you up on the big screen, Mr. Brandon. Gotta love what you do, brother. Both are gonna cash in, but I think Soto will be way overpaid. Yeah, that's the common theme of my show tonight, Brandon. And it's not my money. And we've covered this on Angie's Angle, so I'm not gonna hang my hat on it too long tonight. If Cohen and Stern says, okay, Juan Soto, here's your $600 million, and Soto gets hurt, who does that affect? It doesn't affect Mr. Cohen because he's collecting the insurance money. 3/4 of that money is coming back to him. It affects the fan, me, you, and the next guy. Because now you don't have that Soto with the bat and the power and the wow factor on the team at the moment of his injury. And now who you're putting in right field, if he does in fact play right field, you bring in Marte back, Tyrone Taylor, Winker. It's not the same caliber player. So while the money to Cohen's not a big deal, to you and I, it's a big deal because we want that money dispersed over the entire field, not in just one position. So I don't know what to say about that. I want to hear opinions. I want to hear opinions. I want to know. Hey Casey, what's going on, buddy? So Casey, I think he's going to be 26 for all intents purposes, but so Harper got 300 million plus. Fernando Tatis got 300 million plus. I say 450 what the Nationals offered him 3 years ago. That's my ceiling, Casey. 450. Now I'm saving 150, but we all know that he's not going to sign for 450. He already walked away, and the market is really tilting towards the $600 million mark. So yes, if I was Stearns and Cohen, I'd say here's 450. Take it or leave it. I know, Casey. I know. I don't disagree with. Listen, I'm old school. I'm a dinosaur. I accept it for who I am, right? But we can't sit here, or I can't. Perhaps some of you can, but I cannot sit here as a diehard Met fan and openly root for Soto to be a Met at $600 million. It handcuffs the rest of the progress that you're trying to do. Yeah, Casey Ohtani got paid, but I do really think Ohtani was a different type of player. International star. So you're getting all that revenue from Japan. I mean, you're getting his salary's already been paid for from all the baseball rights and the broadcast and the commercials and the merchandise and the this and the that and the that and this. Soto's not doing that. Soto's not bringing you that revenue. Okay. Hey, West Coast Day Prince, how are you, brother? I've answered this question a lot, West Coast, and I appreciate you logging on. Le Grand Orange is my favorite Met ever. Rusty Staub was the man, the myth, the legend. Not only was he a phenomenal ball player, phenomenal ball player, he was even a better human being, setting up the fund for the widows of the firefighters. He was just great. Yes, Harold Staub, my most favorite Met of all time. Now, my second favorite Met, I'm gonna have to go with Darryl Strawberry. And ironically enough, I don't know I'll be able to get up and show you. But I'm wearing his jersey tonight. I don't think you see it yet. I hope you saw it. I couldn't see if I showed it to you, but I got Daryl on tonight, and I'll tell you why. Daryl and I were friends back in the day. We he used to come into Houlihan's in Roosevelt Field, Long Island. And I used to buy him dinner. Not buy him dinner. I make him dinner with comp and blah, 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 blah. He gave me free tickets to the game. It was fantastic. We knew each other, you know. If he saw me at the ballpark, he'd say, "Hey, Ange, how you doing?" You know, that was special for me. But his swing was majestic. It was effortless. And when he hit the ball, you knew that ball was screaming. You knew that ball had no chance of staying in the yard. That ball was adios amigos. And he had an arm also, albeit not 100% accurate, but he had a big arm. Strawberry had a very big arm. So Rusty Staub, my favorite Met of all time, followed by Darryl Strawberry, followed by Mike Piazza, my top three guys. And if I have to round off the top five, Keith Hernandez. And then I'm gonna probably have to go and search my memory banks, and I might have to say that my fifth favorite player of all time. Wow, that's gonna be a hard one. You know, I'm gonna go with Mookie Wilson. No, Casey, no chance, Nemo. No chance. And Brandon, let's put you. That's great. That's a great cooking reference. Comparing Ohtani to Soto is like comparing medium rare to overcooked. You couldn't be more right, my friend Brandon. And Brandon's an accomplished chef like myself, and he and I talk food offline a lot. And I'm blessed to know you, Brandon, and your family. And Casey, get your Nimmo out of here. Top five. Nimmo doesn't make top 100. We're putting in the stork at number 5 before Nimmo. I'm telling you that. So, you know, Soto is in the driver's seat. Sure, absolutely, amen. To be honest with you, when he turned down the Nationals $450 million guaranteed, I try to put the hex and have him get turf toe. Nothing debilitating where he can't live anymore, but enough where he can't play anymore, if you know what I mean. Because I don't know how. I give him credit, I suppose, since he's lining them up for another $150 million, but it could have gone south also. It could have easily gone south for him. So we're at day 53 mark. We got the prayer list to cover. And then I got the lounge to go back to with my buddies and relax and enjoy and see what's going on. All right. Tonight's prayer list is as follows. Harold, you lead us off with Dawn Squared and your friend Ed. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your mom and your wife. Linda Stein, happy to hear you're back from your vacation safe and sound. We're praying for your dad. Mark Brooks, my brother from another, we're praying for your dad and yourself. Kevin Elliott, we are praying for your health challenges. The Krause family, as Aubrey remains in remission, battling the C word. Clark, your brother-in-law Brad and your sister Trish and yourself, young man, with the hip surgery. And offline or prior to the show, we were talking that both Brad and Clark are doing very well with their situations. Glad to hear that. Deb and Lee down in Maryland, we're praying for Lee. Mr. McGowan, sir, we have your 6 as you strongly and bravely battle the C word. Marianne Bello, my good friend in Las Vegas, we're praying for your mom. Big John, Cigar Lounge, we're praying for cousin Richie, Phil's Nona, and Irene. Larry Levy, congratulations on winning the Scouting Award just recently. We're praying for your wife, Frida. Tom, we're praying for your friends Paul and Janet as they face cancer. And we're praying for Jack, who's going to undergo a bypass this week. John, different John in smoke therapy, we're praying for your for Elizabeth. We're praying for Larry as well. Coach, we're praying for your friend Tom who lost his nephew. And Johnny Barbecue, all of us from Smoke Therapy, we're praying for a rapid recovery from your little ailment. And we hope to see you back next week. And I'd like to throw in personally my Aunt Pat down in Venice, Florida. She's on home hospice care. I'm actually getting on the plane Sunday night, flying down to Venice. I'm going to spend the day with her. And it's overdue. She's my mother's brother's wife. My cousins Don and Billy down there with her. She's good right now. She's on home hospice. And I'm going to go down and spend the day. And I'm going to catch some time with my son Michael in Bradenton. And I'm going to catch up with Kevin over in Hollywood and my friend Brett up in Tampa. So I got a busy week ahead of me. So, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, not for all the right reasons. My Aunt Pat, we're praying for you. We're thinking and praying for you, Aunt Pat. So let's see. Yeah, Casey, we before you jumped on, Casey, we discussed that if the Mets were to sign Soto, I'd make him the instant DH. I wouldn't even put him in the field. You've got now $600 million invested in the kid. It's known that he's not a quality outfielder. So why press him diving to earn, to think he's got to earn that money on a ball and coming up with a broken rib, a fractured wrist, et cetera, right? A torn ACL. Leave him on the bench. Let him hit. That's what he does. He does it best. He does it very well. We can't argue that. So anyway, this has been Angie's Angles coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. For those that signed on late, January 9th, if you're in the neighborhood, Casey, you're invited, my friend. We're going to do wings, bourbon, and cigars on January 9th. Let me know. I'll shoot you a message, Case. Maybe you'll do that. It's been Angie's Angles saying good night. God bless. I love you.